Kenny here with Gardening Simplified. It is September 7th, and we're going to do a September garden tour. So let's get into it. Starting up here at the top of the garden, we've got a lot of grass in our walkway. We're working on that. We've got stuff tarped down. Our compost bins are overflowing. Start up here. We've got right here. We've got our turmeric. Right next to it is our ginger. Back behind here, we've got a couple of sweet potato plants in containers, and we've got a row of potatoes. They were all kind of put in there late. We've actually tarped this area, trying to get the grass down some, and then we'll come in and clean it out and fix this up. We've been kind of rejuvenating and renovating the garden. Now we have a second crop of okra here that's doing good. This is a burgundy okra. We've been putting down ground cover in between our rows so that we can cut down on our weeding. We have a few weeds that get in the beds, but very few. It's really in our walkways where we walk, and maybe track seeds and everything else. But we've got these rows planted. We've got turnip and mustard there. We've got some late green beans here, some more turnip and mustard here, and then this row right here is some more green beans. And these green beans are really a week or two late. We'll see. Hopefully we won't get a first frost and kill them all. Anyway, we have some peppers. These are just now starting to bloom and put on small peppers. These are Craig Grandes, and they're just starting to form some little peppers there. So it won't be long. We'll be harvesting some off of there. I've got to get down here and stake these because I've already got some that's falling over. Now down here we have our hatch green chili. This is the first year for growing it, but you can see that we have them starting to form on here. Won't be long. They'll be ready to harvest. We've got a few down here that's closer this way. These are getting a little bigger, so those will be the first. Got some serranos right here. This was kind of an afterthought. I thought I didn't have any, replanted, and then I ended up having some. So I've got two little batches. Our zucchinis, they're still doing pretty good, I'd have to say, for the way they started out. A lot of leaf curl and everything else, but they've kind of come back. We're getting a little bit of mildew on the leaves. We'll come in and spray these. We've been using some neem oil and take care of that. They are producing a few zucchinis, not many. We got some blueberries. A friend of ours, Sarah, had given us some blueberry plants. Now it looked like they all died. I mean, we potted them up, hope for the best, and it looked like they died. But they're starting to shoot back out. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe all of them will be all right, but it's hard to tell because some that really look like they wasn't going to make it are starting to make it. So we'll just keep watering them and hope for the best. The herbs are taking over. We did put in a rosemary plant here. We had one big one that the freeze kind of got this, so we went and got another one and put in here. The little greenhouse is not planted. In fact, it's kind of weed central. We hadn't got back to it yet. It's not that bad, but it does have a bunch more weeds than normal. We have a couple of pepper plants in there, and we have an eggplant that we're fixing to cut out here pretty soon. But I'm trying to get over here, I'm trying to get some ground cover around the edge, get this grass out. I'm sure I've waited too long and have some seeds dropped in here already. but we'll take care of that. Asparagus is doing good. This here is that we put in by the roots, as you can see. And then this over here is that we just seeded, and that is a little bit larger, but this is really taking off good too, so that'll be great. While we're down here at the greenhouse, we have our cucumbers. They've done hit the 10-foot mark and coming down. I had 2 varieties, and the one on this end is doing the best. The tomatoes are really doing good. These will be my fall tomatoes. These are celebrities, and they're starting to put on good. They're blooming good. I'm basically hand pollinating them, but they ought to do real good. These over here are my Amish paste, and they're doing good about setting fruit. I have cherry tomatoes down this whole row, and I have these are the atomic grapes. We'll see how they do as far as color, but they're starting to produce. And our first 10 here are Amish paste. Over here, this next bunch is red pear, and they're starting to put on. They're doing a good job of coming on. We had some beans down here. I don't know what decided to eat them, but I'm thinking it was the cat playing with them, because it never did come back. But there was only 3. Now, I was growing these for seed. Looks like they're blooming real good, so we ought to have plenty for seed, but they're going to the very top, climbing high as I can. But hopefully, like I say, we'll get some seed off of that. Over here we have a little cilantro. It was kind of sparse. The seed was a little bit old. In the midst of the grass, I've cleaned it back just enough. I have some natapinos and some habaneras that were over here that was left of a row that come across when we put the greenhouse in, so I've had to hand water them. And we have a lot of grass back here, and this be the project too, as far as take this out and put a barrier along right by the greenhouse and start redoing these rows. We had planted, these are a couple of Craig's Grande peppers, and they're starting to come on. Now, these 2 little ones here are hot cherry peppers. And I have potatoes that was planted all along here, but they weren't coming up very good. I can see one little potato coming up there, and I said, I'll let this fight it out. So I put squash here because they were so sparse. And there's been occasional potato pop up in here. And I've taken, let them see who wins out of that, the squash or the potatoes. But I was definitely needing some more yellow squash, and hopefully these will come on and make on this row here. Now, at this other end of the greenhouse, we have, these are some black Nebula carrots right here, these top ones, and then these are some Denver half-longs. Now I got some onions, some white onions, and some bunching onions that I put in here. We'll see if these do better, getting a little bit of size, and then I'll transplant them out. Right here, these are some straight 8 cucumbers. I'm going to plant one more row. As soon as these get big enough, I'll put them in the row, and then I'll move the fence from the other one. Now this here is some lettuce, and it's not looking too good. I've not had a good time with lettuce this year for some reason. Last year it was really great. Everything was good, but this year has not been a great year for lettuce. Okay, we get over to this side here. Oh, and I didn't mention these tomatoes here. These are some Abe Lincolns. They've got a lot of tomatoes. I need to come in here and trim this to get rid of this disease on here. I have sprayed them with neem oil, so that should help, but I need to trim it. Now our old cucumbers are here, and they get occasional cucumber, but they're dying off, and the new ones that we put in along this fence, they died off, so we won't mess with that too much. But we have our green beans. We've got two varieties that we're growing now. These are Kentucky Wonder, that's on this row here, and then over here we have some Japanese giant red leaf mustard. And then of course you can see where it stops. And then down here we have turnips. We're trying to really push these to get some size and hurry. Now these are Diva cucumbers, which are a pickling cucumber. And they're pretty much in bad shape. And what we're going to do is, once we get the others transplanted and up to a point to where they need the fence, then we'll pull these out, move this fence over to the row that we put them in, and replant this row, redo the bed and replant. Right here, these are Blue Lake green beans. They're doing pretty good. We had some Kentucky Wonders in here, and something ate them. I don't know what it was. This row here is turnips. Got a hard rain after we planted them, so they're kind of scattered, and I think maybe it washed them off on the end. I'm not sure. But something is eating these green beans. We're going to put up the game camera and see if maybe a rabbit's getting in somewhere, or what might be happening here, because definitely they eat a few and then they eat a few more, so we'll have to see what that is. The okra here, I'd say it's getting pretty good. Some of it's getting up there probably pretty close to 11, 12 feet. And we've been harvesting it fairly good amount. It's been doing good. We've tarped this area, so this just recently, once we pulled the tarps up on this walkway here, we moved them to here and tarped this down. We gotta pull the tarp off of this walkway and pulled it over yonder. We'll be tarping some more over there. We have our peppers. They're not liking the heat. These are banana peppers here, but they tend to be really short and small, and part of it's the heat, part of it is I haven't been in to fertilize them. And this is where the watermelons were, and this definitely needs taken care of. We have a few more peppers here, sugar rush, and then some eggplants, some cayennes, and some Tabascos down there. Now these tomatoes here are fixing to come out. We'll clean this row up. This tarp has almost been down long enough. This ought to be able to clean up, and we'll pull the grass on the rest. And these tomatoes need to come out. Now Vicky, she's been trying to clean the grass out of our strawberries. We lost control of this. We've got a lot of plants in there that's died. Of course, we got a lot of ones that'll need to be moved and transplanted. We'll get this all figured out. We've got rid of a lot of our problem with our spotted leaf fungus. There's still some in there, but we've really done a lot to knock it back. You can see the top of the apple tree there. It's getting up there pretty close to 8 foot. That was the one that was planted last year from seed, and this one here's the same way. Kind of hard to see from the background, but anyway, yeah, we'll finish clearing out this tomato plant in this row, and then we need to get in here and fertilize this, and we're going to pull up these squash. We've had a real bad problem with root knot nematodes in this row, so we'll have to do something with it. And over here we've got our Roselle Hibiscus. Now it is the weather has blown it over. I hadn't got in here and stood it back up. I said I was, but it has never, this thing has never bloomed. I don't know what is the deal. Maybe it's not getting quite enough sunlight, but I would think it would be old enough. But anyway, I'm gonna have to get in here and get this stood up, get it back to going, and we've got to get the rest of these tomatoes out and get this cleaned up. But we've just been working at it from one end to the other. You know, no sense in getting depressed because you're behind. Just keep going. It's looking like it's easier to manage where we've got things taken care of, and won't be long. The cooler weather will be here, and of course down here in the south, zone 8B, we can still grow a lot of stuff, but the cooler weather, the peppers and stuff like that will really start producing better, and things should be a lot better for working out here, because right now we're lucky if we can work till 11 o'clock. The heat just gets bad. This week cool fronts come through. It's lowered nighttime temperatures, so they're in the upper 60s, which is great, mid to upper 60s. And so coming out in the morning, it feels pretty good. And the daytime temperatures are going to be in the low 90s, which is great too. But anyway, I hope this encouraged you to do a little bit in your garden. You can see how mine's going, and we're steadily at it. We're still planting and harvesting, and we'll keep doing that all winter. But anyway, if you like this video, well, of course, give it a thumbs up, share it. That helps my channel. And if you want to see more, just subscribe and hit that bell button so you'll be notified. Happy gardening.